So this is the Math 155 lecture for January 21st, part 1 of 3. Hope you're enjoying the snow. And today's discussion is on arithmetic sequences. So what is an arithmetic sequence? Well, it's a sequence that goes up by a certain fixed amount every time, and it always goes up by that fixed amount. So for instance, here's an example of something that goes up by the same amount each time. So it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and keeps on going because it goes up by 1 each time. Goes So, well, let's see, what's another kind of example where it goes up by a fixed amount each time? Here's another example. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, etc. The odd numbers. This goes up by 2 each time. And, well, heck, the even numbers also do that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. Okay, so let's be a little more formal about this. Let's write this down. So a definition. So an arithmetic sequence is one in which the difference between consecutive terms is always the same. So that's a definition, and that's a great way that you can tell whether or not a sequence is an arithmetic sequence or not. And probably the most organized way to manage this sort of thing is to write a table of differences. So you might do something like this. You might write something like this. Make a little table. Say, here's the position. Here's the term. And then write the difference. So make yourself a little table. So let's take a look at those odd numbers, for instance. The position is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's probably getting boring after that. So let's see, what's our term? Well, our term is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Okay, so what's the difference between the first term, the 0th term, and the first term? Well, it's 3 minus 2. And that's equal to what? That's equal to, wait, no, what am I doing here? 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. And furthermore, I think this should be right there. Okay, well, what's 5 minus 3? Hey, that's also 2. What's 7 minus 5? Also 2. It's 9 minus 7. Also 2. 11 minus 9. Also 2. 13 minus 11. Oh, that's also 2. Hey, all of these differences are the same. All the differences are, in fact, 2. Importantly, they are the same. That means then that the sequence is arithmetic. Okay, well, let's see here. Let's take a look at another case, and perhaps a situation in which the sequence might start looking like arithmetic, but it's maybe not. So let's again look at the position. let's look at the term, and we'll compute the differences. So let's look at this sequence. The sequence is 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and it keeps going. So what's the difference between 2 and 1? 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay. What's the difference between 3 minus 2? 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. Now let's see, let's take the difference between the next two terms. That's 5 minus 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. Let's see, 7 minus 5 is 2. 9 minus 7 is 2. 11 minus 9 is 2. And you look at it and you say, uh-oh. We've got two groups of 1s, or 2 1s, and we have lots of 2s. 1 is not equal to 2. So this sequence is not arithmetic. It's not an arithmetic sequence. Now, here's another interesting sequence. It's the sort of sequence we'll see in a little bit, not quite yet, but it's a sequence that looks kind of arithmetic. Well, actually, it doesn't look arithmetic at all, but it's sort of, its differences have an interesting pattern. I think some of you will recognize this from before. So it is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 2, 64, dot, dot, dot. So let's take a look at the differences. What's the difference between 2 and 1? That's 1. What's the difference between 4 and 2? That's 2. What's the difference between 8 and 4? That's 4. What's the difference between 16 and 8? 8. What's the difference between 32 and 16? 16. What's the difference between 64 and 32? Well, certainly, these are not all the same. So it's not arithmetic. But look at this. If I look at this sequence here and I look at this sequence here, it's the same numbers. Well, that's kind of weird. So if I were to take the differences of the difference column, I'd still get the same numbers. Well, that's kind of interesting. This turns out that this sequence actually has a special name, which we'll hear more about. So preview. This is another special sequence, an exponential sequence. Don't worry about that quite yet, because we'll pick that up after exam 1 in particular. But it's something that you can keep in the back of your head, that there are sequences that are not arithmetic, that have special names, that have special properties. Okay, well, see you next time, and hopefully you'll see the next video, which will take a little bit more detail in how these arithmetic sequences can be represented. So that's all for now.